everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Hermitcraft. You might say that intro was somewhat ZF-y, maybe, or maybe you just say, I don't know, it was really weird.
Excuse me. So welcome back to another episode. I have been in the Nether, gathering a redonkulous amount of quartz, as you would have seen in the intro there. And I got myself a ghast head, because while I was out there, I was also slaying the occasional ghast, and I got lucky enough to get a head. And remember, we're playing Cleo's headhunt game, so this might get us some points. However, this is a rarity. I really like this head right here, and then I got this weird idea of like a ghast talking with subtitles for the ghast sounds. Oh. So whatever you thought of that, let me know with a comment down below. It's always good to try ideas when you have them. You know, I was a little bit unsure of myself as I was editing and whatnot, but I think it turned out really funny in its own peculiar way. And look at this, we've got some ghast tears and we've got some gunpowder, which reminds me, we've been building farms recently, and we should go and check up on them and see what we got. So you will notice from now on that I'm going to be rather liberal with my use of rockets to get around. Ah, and if only the world would load right now. Well, there it is. It's loaded in. Our creeper farm has been a success without any optimizations whatsoever around here. Changes to the farm, lighting up of caves, any of that. A quick 20-minute AFK session yielded me around a stack of gunpowder, as you'll see down here. And that's absolutely terrific. I haven't even built the whole farm yet. Like I said, no optimization, so we're off to a good start with this project here. And then once again, flying around as if I've got infinite rockets, this magic over here has been doing the business round the clock. We're watching it in action right now, and iron golems have been summoned in, and they've been dying in the trap down the bottom, and we've been getting redonkulous amounts of iron. Now, I haven't specifically AFK'd over here, this is just while I've been nearby in the area. Oh! It's even more than last time I looked. That's absolutely crazy. So brilliant. We've got our iron situation sorted. We've got gunpowder flowing in. Things are going good. However, I have a death. Now, I wasn't going to get too worried about holding on to 0 deaths for ages, but I am a little bit annoyed at the way that I died. You saw it in the intro, right? Let me explain what happened. So here is the deal. I was actually on my way to record those clips you saw in the beginning of the video, and I was wandering through a fortress which had a whole bunch of zombie pigmen in, and then I laughed as a skeleton tried to attack me and hit one of the zombie pigmen, okay? Oh, that might cause an issue, they're going to get set on fire. Ah, well, there we go. So now the zombie pigmen were aggressive at the skeleton, which amused me greatly. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Then they turn and come after you, which really sucks because I was facing the other way by then. Oh, and they wrecked me. Oh, they wrecked me. Anyway, it's not all bad because I was able to get every single one of my items back together. However, there was a pigman who managed to pick up my bee's knees, my trousers, my leggings. And so I went and used a little bit of redstone ingenuity to crush the pigman with a block. If I'd have killed it myself, then they would have become aggressive. But because I killed it with the environment, I was able to get my legs back. So why do we need all of this quartz? Well, it's going to be a key building material for the interiors of my base design, and I don't want to go into the Nether again to get any this season. It's actually, you know, not that bad. It's kind of relaxing going around the Nether, getting some Nether quartz, but I want to do this through villages and trading. So we might start work on that in this episode. We're also going to leave this tower and take the quartz when and as we need it, because it's also a stored form of XP. And this means that I can start to repair all of my gear with mending. And one of the things that actually really needs repairing is my pick, my fortune pick, which I'm using to mine this all right now. That's actually steadily getting repaired by mining all of this quartz. And I guess that doesn't work if I want to repair my... Well, no, I just put my silk touch pick there. There you go. Now we're repairing both our Silk Touch and our Fortune Picks. An early game without like a crazy overpowered XP farm, this is actually going to be stored XP and it's going to be really valuable to us. So while I'm mining all of this quartz, I also want to mention that there'll be another Hermitcraft livestream weekend this weekend, the 4th of 4. And due to the coronavirus situation, we'll probably end up doing some more live stream weekends. We're aware that people are around at home with not a lot to do, looking to be entertained, and so we'll try and organise more of those, and I myself will try and live stream more frequently if I can. So be sure to go over to twitch.tv/xisuma, drop a follow over there, and that'll help you get notified of when I go live. Well, it took me a while to realise it, but this pick doesn't have mending on, but luckily I've got plenty of mending books. So there we go. Gonna head back to the top, get more quartz, and actually repair this pick. I'm also going to randomly throw this into my video, but Nembomb has made one of the best mods ever. Okay, what is that about? That makes no sense. So yes, for some reason, the text you'll put into chat will appear over the top of the armor. Not really so great, but with this mod, look at that. The words actually appear above your armor. I tell you, the amount of times the hermits write a message, and I'm like, I can't quite read that because it's going over where the armor is. That's just really irritating. Anyway, thank you, Nembomb. That is an amazing mod. I'll link to it in the description below. Here I was doing mighty fine, rocking 0 deaths, and now 2 deaths in 1 episode. What is going on? Oh my. I finished repairing my pick. I put on my armor and my wings, dropped down, and then, you know, latency issues or something like that. The server said no. I couldn't spread my wings. At least my items are going to be easy to pick up here. Actually, they're kind of spread all over the place, so I might miss some of this if I'm not careful. Look, it's gone all the way down there. It's all the way up here. Oh. Alright, it's time to knuckle down and get focused. I want to introduce you to part of the build style. We're going to do a little bit of it on the inside. It's going to be kind of industrial. And then we're going to shift our attention to the outside where things will get a little prettier. Now you can see that I put down some markers, and these are basically going to be pillars coming up out of the ground, like so. And then they're going to get higher and higher. If I could jump on this, that would help. So this right here feels about right, and then we're going to put a slab on top of it, and then go out either side a couple of blocks. And what we're building here is basically a walkway to get through this entire place. And then we're going to have some iron bars on the side. And it is on these iron bars that we put our lighting for these pathways that we're creating. And yeah, every time we have one of these pillars, that's where the lighting is going to go. They're spaced out with 5 blocks in between, and we're going to have slabs going all the way across, and then we're going to have a little bit of a gap where we have iron bars underneath as well. So it's like this, and then we bring out the slabs, and then we bring out the iron bars on either side, and we end up with something like this, and it kind of looks like something's missing. We're just going to bring this across the side, and that is our nice and clean, pristine with the quartz walkway leading through this area. Now this is just to keep an eye on the bees, and I think eventually we'll have like a walkway behind them for checking out the redstone and doing management and other sorts of stuff. But for now, this is it. Oh, it looks really nice. And it's at this point here that it now needs to go down to the ground. So I'll be crafting some stairs. We'll be adapting the design for that downwards descent. And then we're going to work on the garden area, the pathway that's going to sort of head in that direction off to where the villagers will be. So a couple of concepts and ideas that I've sort of already explained before will be coming together before your eyes now. And I'm standing on a little flower pot project that didn't quite work out. There are redstone torches down here powering those blocks so that the trapdoors will go up along the side of this. And this is another material I reckon we're going to use a fair bit in this project, but I'm not sure what the fate of this is. However, I would like to have some flower boxes sort of aligned around this area, going around the front of this building. And those concepts that I talked about were spawn-proofing the jungle using its own blocks that kind of bring the spawn rates down anyway, right? And that is leaves and jungle logs. A lot of what you're looking at under here was manually placed by myself. And so as I'm building around here, I've kind of cleared it out, you know, done my building, and then we've got to put it back in again, which is something moving forwards that I kind of want to get away from, right? I want to learn how to build this stuff without ripping everything out first of all. But, you know, I'm going to throw down a whole bunch of these and then connect it together with the leaf blocks that I've been clearing out for like the courtyard area over there. Now this is really going to bring it together because as you're walking around on these platforms, you're looking over the edge and the jungle is just there, you know, the leaves are everywhere and they're kind of creeping up the walls like this. It's going to look real good, so I'll fill in this space and it will probably make more sense. Okay, I actually think it's important to kind of keep them away from that edge right there. But that's got the feel that we're looking for, and if we properly put down leaves everywhere, nothing's going to spawn in those spaces. However, at nighttime they probably could spawn on the corners of this. So we need lighting here, and we need to figure out lighting for this. I don't think I want to keep using the combination of lanterns and iron rods around here. So I need to come up with something else. Now that I've filled in these surrounding areas, you can really start to see how gorgeous this project is going to be, right? I was just in the middle of putting down the slabs over here and really loving this pathway, which is going to lead to other functional things in the area, as well as some decorative things which I'm going to add in a moment. And you can see the light source that I went for was pretty obvious, right? End rods. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do. So this area is looking really fantastic so far, and as I plan out a path towards the villager area, I'm thinking about other things that I kind of want to put in and around these paths, and I've had a revelation. You see, we need some flat open areas, and one of the things I actually wanted to do was reclaim the rivers. So maybe what we can do is build a path that comes out to this area and then use it as an open space in which we can transform the terrain and also put other projects that are going to revolve around these paths. Things are going a little bit on the slow side at the moment. I've actually run out of dirt from my supplies, but while I've been over here, I've been killing some cod and some squid, so I got myself some ink sacs and some heads, which will come into the head games. We have got to build a farm for that in the future. And also, we're going to need a string farm, because I need to put string under these vines, which keep growing over and over again. But this path has been a success, and I decided to do something a little different here. As you can see, rather than chopping down the entirety of the tree, I kind of moved its trunk over to the side. And that actually looks really cool. It almost looks like I've custom built some of this stuff. And again, we need string to just stop the growth of these vines. Or maybe this is a vine farm. Anyway, behind me you will see one of the ideas that I have that I've brought to life now, and it is a honey crystal. I plan on just dotting these around the paths and all over the place. Occasionally you'll just see these rising out of the jungle, bone blocks at the bottom, and then, yeah, it's a honey crystal. Now there are sea lanterns on the inside of this, so it'll illuminate light at night time. And also, you might be wondering, how did I build this? Because jumping up and down on sticky blocks, it's kind of tricky, right? So, here's the trick. You just don't stand on the sticky block. So right now, I'm technically over the edge, and that means that you can kind of pillar up with these. So anyway, I've been filling up the lake here with dirt, growing some cha-cha wood for this thing right here. This is a honey storage silo, and it probably looks a little silly at the moment because this is all kind of raised up. We're going to put leaves around the edge here that's going to bury it into the jungle a little bit, and then it's going to look real good. We might actually end up raising this path a fair bit because of that. But yeah, this is like some of the things I want to put in the area, you know. So this is storing honey, there's sea lanterns in there that emit light, and there is one other little detail that I wanted to introduce you to, and it involves trapdoors. It is a honey pipe, and if you saw last season on Tower Bay, this will be very reminiscent, but the introduction of a cha-cha wood here is going to work great with this piped honey coming out from the ground into this thing. Now what I could do is put these pipes everywhere and connect all the different parts together, but they're going to be like a smaller detail, kind of creating the idea that there are honey pipes underground. And you know, I kind of put it in a place where you can't really see it for now, but anyway, there's a lot of work here to be done. Got to fill in all of the water with dirt, and just trying to give you a taste of what's to come in the future here. It's time for a change of scenery, my friends. That was kind of weird. This is our neighbour Quartz, who's just down from the jungle area off in that direction. He's settled here in the wonderful Achacha biome, and he's got this beautiful construction theme going on with like temporary workspaces, cranes and diggers, and down here there is a pit, and he's currently making some baby villagers for me. Now, Quartz is trading with the villagers over here with a trading hall. This is the kind of project that I would like to do so we can get our hands on quartz. And so rather than do it the way we did last time we got villagers, we've got a neighbour who's got a breeder just over to the side here, somewhere around here. Ha! Okay, I found my way through the maze. There is Quartz himself, and he's feeding these villagers carrots. We're going to use the exact same design that he has over here. So he's going to give us 2 villagers, and we'll be installing them around a circle of beds, which allows them to create babies, but the babies get separated away from where the beds are so that they can continuously do that. Then down below, there is a separation system. So we're going to be real building all of this for ourselves somewhere else. But as you can see over here, I've set up a little portal so that we can go to the roof of the Nether, which, you know, puts us right next to our other portals. So the villagers can come through this portal, and then we've only got to take them a short distance to, I believe it is that one just there. That's where our villager farm is going to be. So here we go. Let's see how we get along with this. There is a... Huh. Shouldn't that put it on the rail? Oh, anyway. Yep, got one straight off through... Oh, close that. You're going to need a little nudge, my friend. There we go. Excellent. Alright, and then let's do the second one together. Just make sure it all goes to plan. I do want an adult and not a baby. Awesome. And the villager can go through that without taking damage, which is why I've used this, and I can open and close it. And I only need 2, so once these are transferred, I'm going to come back and tidy up after myself. Well, that guy just went back, and I was about to comment on how it's interesting that once they're separated, the entity can go through the portal. I'm actually going to use boats for the next part, but if I'd have thought about that more, I could have used rails out here. Oh yeah, there's also this unfortunate truth. I ran out of ice, so I'm using slabs for the very last part here. Oh, luckily it's only a short journey. Oh yes, it synchronizes with this one when you go back through, so villager on the loose. Can I squeeze through here? I can squeeze through here and push you along, but you can't come back this way. Oh, this guy is so stubborn. I just thought of a solution. Kralis is also here as well. So let's close those trapdoors and put a bucket of water here. Come on, dude. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. Give him a little push. Also, if I move this to about here, it should push it right into the portal. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We did it. And place the boat, place the boat. There's too many of us in this space. Yay, there we go, we got him. So for the next couple of minutes, my fate is to push 2 villagers all the way down to the end there so they drop into where the trapdoors are. Now this design is an exact copy of Corralis's, which is an exact copy of Impulse's, and I don't know if Impulse was the originator. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, this is the pickup down the bottom here for baby villagers that have been bred. And once we've got 2 in the top there, we just got to feed them, and then they'll do their business. So hopefully we'll get to see it in action in a moment. But first, we need carrots. Lots and lots of carrots. And do you know what we really need to do? We need to build a micro farm that's more automated than me doing this. And behind me is actually the perfect location. So with our earlier revelation that reclaiming the rivers that run through this area would be useful for building, I believe it's down here that I actually want to build my trading hall area. So we've got another river to fill in, and it's somewhere up there. There it is, that my breeder is. Now this means that this right here will be transformed into some sort of giant tower to complement those that will be scattered around the area. For example, the iron farm is over there, and there's not a lot of entities here. I thought they disappeared. They are simply having a nap. So yeah, there's 2 of them here. Then we can breed villagers and move them off into the distance. So all the ones that will be loaded around the clock will be further away from other locations, which is a strategy of mine. A strategy of mine to, you know, keep our base performing well on this server. So not everything will be loaded all the time. Believe it or not, there's actually 2 villagers in that space, but they don't want to trade with me. Anyway, one day we will automate this process. Oh, I'm also noticing that the carrots are kind of falling down as well. You guys are supposed to pick these up. Maybe there's a more efficient way of doing this. Okay, if I put them on the bed, they'll happily pick them up. So that's probably the best way to go about this. Now I can hear the sounds of them throwing the carrots back and forth between each other. That's good. Okay, I'm giving you stacks of my carrots. When are you officially going to start doing something? Oh, I guess I've got to play the waiting game now. So I got in touch with Impulse, and the design behind me was made by ArrayWorks, who also, I believe, was the design in the Nether for breaking the bedrock as well. So that's who created this. If I find their tutorial, there'll be a link in the description box down below. And I'm still playing the waiting game, so I think our plans here for the moment are put on hold. So in the next episode, we're going to be seeking player heads as the headhunt competition will officially be underway. And this location here may just start to transform into something wonderful related to these bees. Now, I've been trying to figure out what mob is going to be the most effective to farm. And then it kind of hit me. Do you know what it is? What we're going to build in this area over here will actually help us with our hunt for heads. And this is what we've currently got. I don't know how many points that is in total, but I'm really looking forward to participating in this competition and potentially hunting down some other hermits. It's going to be exciting, but that's where we're going to wrap this one up. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you so much for your support, and I'll be seeing you soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye-bye.